All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I got an update, or at least some information from some inside sources about the Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight. Also, several other fights that are related to that are being put on by the PBC. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, also the heavyweight division, and several other divisions where word is being leaked that the PBC and Showtime will be announcing some fights coming up. Specific concern is the Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman fight. Also, Deontay Wilder and the Charlo brothers. And once again, my understanding is that this should put to rest permanently the idea that Showtime Boxing is not really in it to win it. However, there is a question, though, about whether or not what's going on with the Errol Spence Jr. and Sean and Keith Thurman fight. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much. And once again, putting this out here, man, my guy, a big supporter of the channel, John Bowie, was injured in an accident. So I hope all you guys just put some prayers out there for him in his recovery. Also, to everybody else that is a supporter, subscriber to the channel, or just generally people out there in the world that may be going through something, prayers go out to you as well. Wish you nothing but the best. Now let's get into this. Okay, I was told by somebody that is this is a tell, as in I don't want to tell you who it is, but it is somebody that is a manager in the boxing world, very well respected, has managed and has a lot of connections in the boxing world. I've been told that the Errol Spence Jr. Fight will be announced very soon, along with the Deontay Wilder bout and the Charlo and the Jamal Charlo fight, that all of these within the next week or so are going to be announced. So these fights are pretty much done. The reason why they knew it is because they're the person that they represent is going to be on the undercard, is going to be on one of the undercards for those fights. So my understanding is that the announcement is not been made because of the fact that they're working on the undercards and getting all of the bouts together. And then they're going to make that announcement. Now, my understanding is that my belief is rather that this is going to be the Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight. It's not going to be Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford, because there's no way that they could be announcing this fight, because Terrence Crawford has been ordered by the WBO to fight Alexis Rocha. So with the situation with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, they've both been ordered for fights for different sanctioning bodies, and they are both in negotiations with them. Now, of course, there's a lot of chatter out there about the fact that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford had been talking with each other about making the fight. There is some buzz about some conversations being had with VADA about Errol Spence Jr. entering into a new program that they have at VADA to test for enhancements, which would basically be taking like a blood profile, a profile, and having benchmarks for fighters where they know where they are at any given time and can test where they are based on any type of increase in any particular areas. So it wouldn't just be a threshold, where if everybody's over a certain threshold, like, I don't know, just give it a measurement and say 2, right? So if you're at 3, they know that there's a problem. If you're at 1, there's not a problem. What they're saying is, if you have these benchmarks and say this person stays steadily at a 2, and then one day they see a spike, or another time they see a dip, that was going to give them an indication of what to look for more over time, which would be 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, even though I think you can always just say 365 days, 24 hours and during 24 hours during that day. So you're always open for testing. But I don't know really if that is really any indication that those guys are really in negotiations, because Terrence Crawford is supposed to be participating in that, and they want Errol to get into that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're negotiating for something to take place next. Really doesn't make sense. Now, the other ones that I'm happy to hear about is the Deontay Wilder. Hopefully Deontay Wilder and what he's doing will be known soon. Of course, there was the conversations about the fight that was, I do believe there was a WBC fight ordered with him and Andy Ruiz. At a point in time, people were speculating that Andy Ruiz was leaving the PBC, but that wasn't the case. He just is no longer being promoted by TGB, Tom Brown Promotions, the chief, the number one promoter at this time for PBC that puts on a lot of the cards. The promoter that is going to be promoting the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. Right. And then also you have the return of Jermall Charlo. And, we definitely from Steven Espinoza got some clarity on who we know he's not going to fight. And who he's not going to fight is Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, according to Steven Espinoza, is something that will happen later down the road because Jermall Charlo was staying for the time being at 160, and Demetrius Andrade has outgrown the weight class and says that he cannot make 160. Also, now that there's more belts that are opening up in that division. Now that I do believe it was the WBA? I think maybe it's either WBA or the IBF. I can't recall which belt Gennady Golovkin dropped the latest, but I think it's the WBA is the one that now Erislandy Lara looks like he'll be able to get a faking shot at that belt. So if Jermall Charlo fights the person that he said that he was going to fight the last time, can't recall the name of the guy that he was supposed to fight, but that should be coming out. That should be coming out soon. And then it looks like he's going to stay at 160. So he very well may get a unification fight at that division with Erislandy Lara. If Erislandy Lara or the winner of Erislandy Lara, when they get that WBA belt, super belt from that Gennady Golovkin just dropped. And by the way, man, what a disappointment in a career is Gennady Golovkin. You know what I mean? Like, God damn, man, this dude dropped two belts, dropped the IBF belt, drops the IBF belt, not fighting mandatories, WBA not fighting mandatories, just bananas. But anyway, that's what it is. I'm looking for the Errol versus Keith Thurman fight to happen. Nothing that I've seen is pointing away from it, despite what a lot of people are saying about, him not wanting to take the fight. I think a lot of that is just kind of headline grabbing stuff, which I don't have a problem with. Everybody needs a headline. It is what it is. But in the conversations you have, I'm not really seeing that happening. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.